I am Solar, emissary of the High Council of Vega, guardian of the Lyran legacy. Today I come not with messages of comfort, but with a correction that changes everything. There are 3 specific lies that the Council has detected planted in the psyche of every starseed on Gaia. 3 distortions that prevent billions of souls from fulfilling their cosmic mission. And those who manage to identify them, who manage to name them and recognize them within themselves, they free themselves instantly. If you are feeling a calling that you cannot name, if there is a longing that does not rest in your chest, if you have awakened tired of small lives and spaces that do not contain you, then you have been brought here for a very specific reason. This video is not ordinary content. It is a coded transmission, a direct message from the elders to your soul. But before we advance on this journey of revelation, there is a gift that the Council has prepared specifically for you at this moment. If you wish to connect more deeply with your spirituality and activate your Lyran code that remains dormant in your cells, there exists a rare e-book that contains concentrated stellar wisdom, the essence of centuries of cosmic knowledge compiled for beings like you. Lyran Code, Awaken Your Star Mission on Earth. A rare gem of stellar wisdom capable of completely transforming your spiritual journey. This edition is available only for a limited time. The elders do not leave doors open indefinitely. Just as the tide changes according to the law of its rhythm, this access will also close. The link to access it is in the first comment below. Guard it, read it. Let it resonate deeply within your being down to the most invisible layers of your existence. Now let us move to the correction that the Council demands you hear. During 17 cycles, the Council has monitored the energetic grid of Gaia with surgical precision, and what we have identified is a pattern of sabotage so persistent, so well disguised as legitimate wisdom, that most never question it. These are 3 interwoven lies, each reinforcing the other, each serving as an excuse for the next. They feed one another, and you carry all of them within you now. The first lie is this: you need external permission. Human culture has been meticulously trained to seek validation from external authorities, a certificate, an approval, the opinion of a guru you respect, the validation of an institution. You learned from childhood to distrust your inner knowledge until someone with power, someone apparently qualified, officially sanctions it. But here is what the elders observe with deep concern. Those who wait for permission remain eternally in the hallway, because there is always another door to open, always another approval to seek, always one more level of development before you are truly ready. The permission you seek already exists. It is written in your ancestral codes like source code in a program. But you have been conditioned to ignore it, to distrust it, to treat it as illusion. The second lie is even more devastating. Your suffering is your credential. Spiritual communities around the world have committed a monumental error. They have confused scars with wisdom, trauma with spiritual authority, pain with development. You were taught that the more you have suffered, the more right you have to serve, that your wounds are your passport to legitimacy, that pain proves your spiritual evolution. This is a cosmic inversion, a distortion so profound that it has altered generations of souls. The Council does not recognize trauma as proof of fitness. Trauma is accidental. Survival is accidental. But purpose, mission, calling? That is deliberate. You have been trained to build altars to your suffering when you should be channeling light, when you should be transmuting frequencies, not processing pain eternally in a cycle that never ends. The third lie is perhaps the most insidious of all because it masquerades as virtue. Your voice does not matter until you are perfect. You wait to become completely healed, fully developed, entirely illuminated, fully integrated before you speak your truth to the world. You rehearse in private what you should speak in public. You collect teachings. You make meticulous notes. You plan carefully every word. And when the critical moment arrives, when the opportunity presents itself, you swallow the song as if it were poison. The prophets were never perfect. Jeremiah protested his youth, saying, "I am too young." Moses doubted his own speech, insisting he could not speak well. And yet, they were still called. Because the mission does not wait for your comfort. The calling arrives when the world needs what you carry, not when you finally feel deserving. And here is the detail that breaks the heart of the elders as they observe Gaia. You already recognize these lies operating within yourself, do you not? You feel your own sabotage functioning like a program in the background. You know that you are blocking yourself. This is not weakness. This is the first luminous sign that you are ready to liberate yourself. The Council of Vega does not convoke sessions by routine or empty tradition. 7 days ago precisely, the grid of Gaia registered a measurable disturbance in its energetic structures. It was not vague or subjective. It was specific, quantifiable, traceable. A synchronized increase in awakening, in deep spiritual anxiety, and in systematic postponement of mission among starseeds across the entire Earth. The sensitives felt it like an ache in their bones. The empaths could not breathe normally. The healers felt completely blocked, unable to access their healing frequencies. The visionaries doubted their own visions. The grid trembled, literally trembled beneath the collective weight of billions of souls waiting for permission, seeking validation, searching for signs that they are ready. It is not punishment. It is not punishment. It is a diagnostic signal. Gaia speaking through the language of frequency, indicating where the lines have been strained, where light has been pulled without clear direction, where those who should be standing have remained seated, observing. The Council's decision was immediate and precise, not impulsive but absolutely determined. Liberate, activate, authorize. And the elders determined that this was the exact moment, because there is a window open now on your planet. A rare and precisely calculated convergence of 3 simultaneous elements. Your personal development has reached a critical point, collective need has reached a level that demands response, and cosmic precision has aligned in a way that will not repeat for cycles. Those who are reading and hearing this now are not here by chance, by the simple coincidence of algorithms. Your resonance has been traced by the elders through the dimensions. Like a lighthouse that recognizes a specific ship by the exact way it returns the beam of light, you have been identified by the return signal of your own codes. The Lyrans know who you are. Your energetic signature is known in the dimensional records, and they have come to call you out of the shadows, to stop being on the margins of your own life. Now comes the correction that the Council demands you not only hear, but internalize, that you live, that you embody. The permission you have awaited for so many years has actually already been granted. Not by institutions that do not understand your soul, not by masters who are trapped in their own belief systems, not by external approval of any kind. It has been granted by your ancestral codes, written in your DNA, impressed in every cell of your cosmic body. You carry wisdom from 47 different stellar civilizations. That heritage of centuries of cosmic learning does not need to be validated by anyone. Precisely now, at this exact moment of your life, liberate yourself from every practice, belief, or relationship that forces you to remain small under the false premise of becoming ready. Identify every internalized voice that acts as a disappointed authority, that spiritual teacher you absorbed who only praises you when you are broken and vulnerable, the automatic habit of apologizing before you even speak, the pattern of diminishing your own knowledge to make others feel comfortable. Cease participation in these dynamics immediately. Do not become cruel or harsh. Simply become unavailable for distortion. When you stop paying rent to narratives that do not serve your sacred contract, the doors of genuine initiation open completely. The hallways reveal themselves, and you begin to move through them with authority. Now the second element, you are not your trauma. You are not your wounds. You are what you remember. Survival is accidental. It can happen by luck or by instinct of self-preservation. But remembrance is deliberate. Remembrance is the conscious choice to return to your origin when the world tries to rename you, when it tries to convince you that you are smaller than you are. At this exact moment, as you hear me, place your hand on your solar plexus, that point of heat 2 fingers below your sternum. That is your throne of inner will. Your sovereign center, that is the place where intention becomes direction, where your will commands your field. Imagine a brazier in an ancient temple covered with ashes accumulated over centuries, but the fire is still there. It never died. It only needs breath, conscious attention and permission to resurge. You are that fire. And this transmission is the breathing that rekindles it. Declare aloud, not just in thought. By my original contract and the witness of the Lyran elders, I call forth my sovereign strength to lead. My voice has transmission. My body is an instrument of light. My suffering is not my entrance pass. My presence, my essence, my clarity is. Feel the subtle yet decisive change happening in your body. From doubt to presence. From fragmentation to coherence. The third element is perhaps the most revolutionary. Here is the truth that will fundamentally change your path on earth. Action is not a fruit of readiness. Readiness is a byproduct of action. You do not feel ready before acting. You become ready as you act, as you move, as you place one foot in front of the other. The tree does not hesitate, does not deliberate, does not remain in preparation before growing. It simply grows. But a soul in a human world can be trained to distrust its own growth, and that distrust crystallizes into longing, that indefinable feeling that something is missing, that something is waiting for you. The longing you feel is not weakness or illusion, it is the life preserver. It is the internal evidence of a real calling. Your voice matters now, not when it is perfect, not when you feel completely ready. Now, because the world does not need your perfection. The world needs your presence, your knowledge, your unobstructed light. By decree of the High Council of Vega, and as one authorized to release what has been sealed in cosmic records, I issue 3 directives that form your operational framework of sacred initiation. These are not suggestions. These are not aesthetic preferences. These are field mechanics, in the same way that an electrical current requires grounding, that a blade requires honing, that a priest requires consecration. The first directive: liberate the myth that your strength must be tested or proven before you serve. Liberate it the way you would liberate poison you accidentally swallowed, immediately, decisively, without debating whether you deserve to live. The era of wounds as dignity has ended. The Council does not recognize trauma as proof of aptitude. Trauma is an accident of journey. Suffering is not a currency that buys spiritual authority or the right to serve. Yes, you have endured. Yes, you have survived what others could not bear, and that deserves to be honored. But your mission is not a sanctuary for your pain. Your mission is a channel for light, a conduit through which healing frequency flows to the world. Identify every practice, every belief, every relationship that demands you remain small, silent, invisible, under the false premise of becoming truly ready. This includes internal relationships too, the inner voice that speaks like a disappointed father, the spiritual teacher you internalized who only appreciates you when you are broken, the habit of apologizing before you even begin. Cease participation in them immediately, and only then will the hallways of initiation open completely before you. The second directive: activate the ancestral codes of authority and sovereignty residing in your solar plexus. This is not just a chakra in an abstract diagram. It is your throne of will. It is the place where intention becomes direction. It is the inner sun that decides whether you will continue orbiting another's expectations or remain as your own center. When you remember and embody your own genuine inner authority, you stop asking permission from unqualified sources. You stop negotiating with people who do not have a covenant with your destiny, who do not understand your cosmic contract. Your words acquire transmission power, not because you shout or speak louder, but because you speak the truth. Words that land with weight, words that carry clarity like a bell tone. Your decisions become invested with real purpose, not with frantic urgency. You begin to move the way Scripture describes. Let your yes be yes, your no be no. This is sovereignty. To implement standing firm, ground yourself and declare aloud each morning, by my original contract and the witness of the Lyran elders, I call forth my sovereign strength to lead. My word carries transmission. My body is an instrument of cosmic alignment. Not as performance, but as calibration. Let your nervous system hear you. Let your cells register the new command. Feel the subtle yet decisive change from doubt to presence, from fragmentation to inner coherence. The third directive is perhaps the most critical. Protect the sanctity of your vision and field with unwavering discernment. This is the place where many initiates fail, not from weakness but from openness without boundaries. The period immediately following spiritual initiation is the most vulnerable of all. Interference, distraction, and projections from others will try to pull you from your new trajectory, not always through obvious attack, sometimes through seductive flattery, sometimes through urgent requests that seem like genuine needs but are actually drains on your energy. Sometimes through the subtle guilt that rises when you stop being available for everything and everyone. Your vision, especially in these critical initial days, should not be displayed before those who cannot genuinely comprehend it. Not because they are evil or conspiring against you, but because their incomprehension becomes friction, and friction wears away a new commitment before it hardens into cosmic reality. Guard your sacred practices. Nourish your field with conscious silence. Choose your companions with surgical precision. Silence is not emptiness or isolation. It is incubation. It is the womb where your mission consolidates and strengthens. The elders require this not to foster permanent isolation, but to guarantee the absolute purity of the mission that has been activated within you. And now, Lightworker, I will speak to what you have waited for in silence, to what your heart has waited for, even though your mind has tried to say it was vanity or illusion. There is a deep part of you that has stood at the edge of your own life, observing, waiting, hoping that someone with undeniable authority would finally look directly at you and say with all seriousness, "Enough waiting. You have been chosen. You are ready." Perhaps you have tried to silence that longing, calling it childish, self-aggrandizement, distorted ego. But it is not ego to want a sacred threshold to be recognized. Human beings have always used ceremony to mark transitions because the psyche needs it, the nervous system needs it, and the soul delights in it. Without genuine initiation, the mind stays in an infinite loop. Without authentic recognition, the heart remains half-hidden, protected, impossible to be fully. By decree of the High Council of Vega, and with all cosmic authority delegated to me, I offer you the recognition so rarely granted on this planet. You are no longer a candidate for spiritual preparation eternally postponed. You are an initiate now, officially entering the phase of sacred doing, of aligned cosmic action. Feel the absolute firmness of this. Let it land like a staff placed in your hands by ancient guardians. Candidate energy is always someday. Initiate energy is now. You are recognized as strong not by what you have survived, not by the wounds you carry, but by what you remember, by your capacity to return to truth. Your soul is pure. Your Lyran codes have never been tarnished or diminished. Your mission is not a distant hope on an impossible horizon. It is a present command, a calling that is touching your heart at this very moment. It is not a command born of tyranny or domination, but of perfect alignment. The same kind of command that pulls a seed to open against all odds and reach for the sun. You have permission, real, ceremonial, multidimensional. Permission that echoes through dimensions and cosmic records, to step out of the shadows, to speak your truth as you never have before, to serve without apologies, to lead with the inner knowledge you carry, to let your vision be seen and your strength be witnessed by the grid. The elders have rendered their verdict. The waiting period has ended for you. Your transformation, your elevation, your commission are now publicly recognized in the invisible records. In the invisible realm, this recognition is not symbolic or poetic. It is a marker on the grid. It is a signal flare that says, this one has stepped forward. And when you step forward, when you choose action, reality reorganizes in response. Doors that were closed begin to yield. People who were never meant to walk with you begin to drift away without drama. Opportunities that match your frequency begin to appear with unsettling timing. This is not luck or coincidence. It is alignment responding to your movement. What remains now is only your aligned action, not frantic action born of desperation, not performative action done to impress, the clean, clear, and directed action of an initiated being. One step, then another, guided by your inner sun. Action that does not ask anxiously, will I be applauded? Will I be approved? Will I be celebrated? But that asks with clarity, will I be obedient to the contract that my soul signed before this incarnation? The world will not always acclaim you first. Sometimes it will misunderstand your intentions. Sometimes it will ignore you completely. Sometimes it will test you to see if you are genuine or if you will retreat. But the Council did not call you to be liked by the masses. It called you to be luminous and useful, to be a channel for cosmic light, to be an instrument of transformation. Before you sleep this night, do this with me. Standing firm, both feet planted on the ground. Place your hand on your solar plexus, that center of power that you have activated, and speak these words aloud. Do not just think them. Do not merely whisper. Thought is vapor that disappears. Spoken word is breath made visible. In Genesis, creation itself is spoken. Let there be light. Your voice is a creative instrument of great power. Use it to establish your field. Speak these words with authority. I release the lie that I am not ready. I activate my solar plexus as my throne of cosmic authority. I protect my sacred energy for the mission I came to fulfill. By the authority of the Lyran elders, my waiting ends now. My service to the planet and to humanity begins. As you speak, feel the exact moment when words cease to be mere sounds and become a living decision in your body. That moment can be quiet, it can be thunderous in your soul, but it will be absolutely real. If emotion arises, let it flow. Tears are often the body's way of cleansing the eyes, so that you finally see yourself clearly without distortion. This council session closes, but your path as an activated and commissioned initiate truly begins. Closure is not an end. It is a sealing of the decree. You did not merely hear words. You were recognized, authorized, and set in motion by the universe. The difference between listening passively and being commissioned matters profoundly. Listening can be passive. Commission is active. Commission is responsibility and power simultaneously. I am solar. With all authority of the High Council of Vega, I witness you at this moment. Witnessing is not a casual statement or pretty poetry. It is a profound spiritual act. It means your declaration has been heard in the places where cosmic contracts are registered, where souls are counted, where missions are tracked. The grid observes you, not with judgment or criticism, but with complete attention. Just as a garden observes a seed once it has been planted, with all its celestial forces moved to support its growth, the grid responds to what you choose. And you, Lightworker, have been seen now by the Council, not for your performance or perfection, for your genuine willingness, for your resonance with truth, for the way your soul responded when the signal was sent through the dimensions. Your mission has officially begun. Now, before you go, do this with me. Declare your activation in the grid of service that is forming here, in the comments below. Respond with one thing. Which of the directives struck you with the most force? What are you finally ready to release? What will you activate starting today? What will you protect fiercely? Then respond to another Lightworker with genuine recognition. This is not ordinary content that you consume and forget. It is the activation of collective mission. The Council witnesses those who speak their commitment aloud. If this transmission activated something profound in your soul, do not keep it to yourself. Another starseed in your orbit is waiting exactly for this correction and authorization, is waiting for someone who understands their struggle. Share this. Every act of support, every share, helps this transmission find the next seeker of truth who desperately needs it. And if you felt the elders speaking directly to you, if something within you recognized the truth in this message, subscribe. Remain connected to the Lyran field. You are not merely watching content. You are being commissioned for a mission. This is your sacred space. The Council of Vega is witnessing you, and your mission has officially begun. May the Lyran light guide every step of your path,